So now let's discuss a few advantages of crystallization over evaporation. Okay, so you may have some confusion regarding crystallization and evaporation because you might think that both of this process, crystallization and evaporation, they do the same work. But there are certain differences. First of all, the first difference is that crystallization is the purification process, whereas evaporation is a separation process. So although crystallization and evaporation, it seems to have done the same work, but somehow it is different. Their primary works are different, the process is different, so there are a few differences. So first of all is crystallization is your purification process, where evaporation is a separation process. So if you remember the process of evaporation, in which what we had to do, suppose you have taken a solution of say salt or say sugar plus water. So you need to separate sugar from water. So what will you do? You will take a china dish in which you will take the solution and you start to heat it by starting the burner. So in the process of heating the china dish, actually what we are doing, we are trying to remove the water from the solution. That means we are trying to evaporate water from the solution. That is why this is called evaporation, correct? So in that process, in evaporation, while removing the water from the solution, there are certain risks. First risk is that solid which is present in the solution, it might decompose. That means the sugar might decompose or get charred on heating. That means we are heating the solution, and in the process of heating the sugar, sugar is a carbon compound. So during this heating process, the sugar may got charred. Charred means it will become like charcoal like substance, it will become black. That means the sugar will be destroyed. So there are some risks involved in the process of evaporation because we are supplying directly and we are removing all the water from the solution. But in crystallization, there is no such risk, because in crystallization what we do, first we will mix it with water, then we will filter the impurities, then we will heat it until the solution gets saturated, and then we will allow it to cool. And during the process of cooling, it will like form the crystals back again. So there are a few differences. The main difference is in evaporation we are removing all the water, but in crystallization we are not removing the water completely. We are only removing that amount of water after which the solution gets saturated. So after getting a saturated solution, we will stop the process. We will allow the solution to cool, and after cooling we will get pure crystal. So this is the first difference. And second difference is the soluble impurities do not get removed in evaporation. That means sometimes what happens, if there are some impurities in the solution, then even after evaporating all the water, the impurities may not be removed. But in the process of crystallization, the impurities will be left behind after doing the filtration process. That means in case of crystallization, there is no chances of remaining impurity, but in case of evaporation, there are some chances that some impurities will be left behind. So this is the second difference. So here are some applications of crystallization. So first is purification of salt obtained from seawater. So you know that the salt that we eat in our daily food are actually obtained from seawater, correct? So how it is obtained? First, the seawater will be evaporated. That means after evaporating, the water which is present in the sample or in the seawater, it will be evaporated, it will be vaporized, and it will leave behind salt, correct? But this salt which is obtained after evaporation of seawater is not pure. There are some impurities present in the salt, correct? So in order to get pure sample or pure salt from the impure salt, we need to use this particular method, which is crystallization. This is the first use. And second use is separation of crystal of alum from impure sample. These are the two applications of crystallization process. After this, we will move to physical and chemical changes, unit 2.4. But before moving on to unit 2.4, there is something which you need to understand, which you need to know. That is, there is a small paragraph given in your book regarding how water is purified. So there is a small paragraph given how, that means how the water supplying system in the cities, how the water is purified in those systems to provide pure drinking water to the people living in the cities. So there is small paragraph given. I advise all of you to please read the paragraph and try to understand, and if there is any difficulty in understanding, then you can ask me. So this is actually one kind of homework which I would like you to give, since all other topics I have already discussed with you. So this is the topic left, and I think this topic is easy for you to handle, and I wish and I want that you discuss and you try to understand how, that means water in the cities from the reservoir get to the people's houses, and what are the different process used while purifying the water. So please read the paragraph. There is a diagram given. Draw the diagram, do the practice, try to understand, and if there is any doubt, you can ask.